tell us, Jen, what happened that he eventually decided to stick with WWE, and was he really serious about coming back to MMA?
Yeah, so it's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just about to get into bed, and my phone rings, and I look at it, and it's a name I recognize, and I answer the phone, and it's Brock's manager, and he said, "Have you been following what's been going on in the news?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." He said, Brock made a decision. And I said, okay. And he goes, and we want to announce it tomorrow. And keep in mind, it's 1 o'clock Eastern time. And I said, okay. He's like, so Brock wants you to do it. And I said, okay. And he said, so what are we going to do? I was like,
you're the expert. That's what I would have said.
Where is he? He said, he's in L.A. I'm like, how long is he in L.A.? He said, until tomorrow. I'm like, what time? He's like, around 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, it's 12 hours. You're killing me. So we went through a few different scenarios right then and there on the phone. And we talked about doing a press conference. We talked about, doing a conference call. We talked about, a few different other ideas. But the biggest thing was that we didn't want the news to leak, which is why he called me to do it, because he knows that I know the UFC very well and I know the WWE very well. He wanted someone independent to make it so that he could announce it himself and break the news himself. We got everything sorted out, and Brock, around, I want to say it was like around 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, Brock calls me on the phone, and he's like, Dana White's in the studio. I said, what? He goes, Dana White's in the studio at Sports Center. And I said, he's like, what's he doing there? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me what he's doing there. And he goes, I don't know. And I said, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, well, he's going to go back to the UFC because Dana's obviously there doing his part. So then I get a call while I'm on the phone with Brock from his manager. And I'm like, hold on, this is your manager. I answer the phone. He goes, Paul Heyman's at the Sports Center studios right now with Dana. And Paul Heyman, as you guys all know, is his on-TV manager. I'm like, what's Paul Heyman doing there? He goes, I don't know. So I go back on the phone to Brock. I'm like, Paul Heyman's there, right? Yeah, I know. He's the one who told me. And I went back to Brian and I said, Dana and Paul Heyman are both there together. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, did you book it? No. Did I book it? Do you think someone at Sports Center told somebody? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like from 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock until he got the studio to make his announcement. I was Googling the news like every 30 seconds, waiting for it to leak. And that was the most important thing because he really wanted to go on camera, and look his fans and look the sports community in the eye and explain how difficult this was for him.